Yes. So basically in cybersecurity, what we all do, we all will monitor systems, will protect computers, devices, and data from digital thieves, right? So in order to protect our digital life, so as well as we also protect our personal lives, same manner we'll protect our digital lives in an organization, in personal life also. Like everyone need to have a cybersecurity awareness, because the digital world is growing, and we need to have confidentiality, integrity, and availability also. So now I'll be sharing a first concept of cybersecurity. I'll be sharing my PPT so we can have an understanding. So from now 2 to 3 sessions will be theoretical, because first we need to have a theory knowledge and knowledge base, so that we can go further, right? Here comes our first domain, which is where we'll cover all the general security concepts of cybersecurity, which will be helping us to crack our CompTIA security place. Okay, like whenever you have any doubt, please let me know, so that we can have a discussion then and there. If not, like we can also have a Q&A at the end of the session. So here, as we discussed right now, we need to maintain confidentiality, integrity, and availability. There will be 4 stages in cybersecurity, where CIA will be having one part, and then security controls, then cryptography basics, and zero trust architecture. Okay, so here where we'll be discussing what what is meant by confidentiality, integrity, availability, what are the security controls measures we need to take in order to protect our personal data, or our personal application, or our web server, or our network devices. In a cryptographic basis, we'll be discussing about hashing, which means encrypting our normal text, in order, like if there are any interpreters between our communication, or if there is any traffic breach in the network, so the message or the data could be encrypted. And at last, zero trust architecture means, like here whenever we create an environment in our organizations, we are following zero trust architecture, like whether the person is having the permission to enter or to access any storage device, or any share path folder, or any shared file, there the authentication is mandatory, because we don't know the intentions of person varies. So whenever there is any access, or any deletion or upgrade in any sort of website, or any data manipulation, we'll be having verifications, as well as we'll be having notified whether the person is having privilege to access the certain information, or whether he is good to go with that access. Here CIA will be covering confidentiality, integrity, and availability, as we said. So first of all, what is confidentiality? Where here we will be discussing what is meant by confidentiality, and why we need to keep our data confidential, and why we need to secure our data. So here the goal will be to prevent unauthorized disclosure of information. If you are having any sort of documentation in an organization where you will be documenting each and every step of any product. Like you are developing a website where you will be having some notes, like what is there in the code, or what is there where we need to update, where we need to push our updates, and where we need to access the data. So here the confidentiality will be taking in place, and as well as example would be like encryption. If your WhatsApp message is not encrypted end to end, if then what will happen, like the who is the owner, like the WhatsApp the WhatsApp company may read your each and everything what you will be sending over there. That's the main reason people are going not, if there is any confidential thing they are using what we call Telegram, because there the end-to-end encryption is more than the WhatsApp. Integrity in the sense like here the goal would be the accuracy and competency of the data, like how accurate you are, whether like if you are a manager you will be having certain admin privileges to access that, and there will be security measures, like same application will be there in your organization. Like if you are accessing, if there is a junior level person or manager level person or higher authority, CEO, CTO, they'll be having different options and different privileges of accessing data. Like if I would be having the same website and I would be having only access to read the data, I can't update or delete. If there is a manager, he'll be monitoring each and everyone, and the data would be, he'll be having access to each and everyone who is doing what he is doing. If CEO is there, he can also update, delete data, like he can manipulate data. So here this will be the integrity part, like who and what he can do. And availability would be like whenever there is an if there is a certain attack, or like if there is a DDoS attack on any server, if there is any DDoS, what will happen, like the attacker will be sending, or if there is a huge traffic between sender and receiver, what will happen, the data or the website which will come down. So here the availability comes into place where they'll be having backup servers. If it got hacked or it got breached or the data got manipulated, they'll be having regular backups of the data, like what we call snapshot. The regular snapshots will be there. So these CIA plays a major role in cybersecurity. So here key supporting concepts, and one more thing, like here we'll be discussing the concepts, but like if we go in depth of each and everything, we won't be covering okay. So like AAA, authentication, authorization, and accountability, which is nothing but auditing, right? So authentication in the sense every like if we take a general example, so it would be like if you go into office, you will be having an access card. Without, if you are known person also, without that access card you can't even enter the office gate. So here the everyone will be having individual identity, and so here there is an example of password or biometric scans. So everyone will be having a different authentication to access or to enter anywhere. So like if we want apply this authentication, so here what will happen, like if someone is known also, like if he don't have access to any server room, if that person enters there and if he did any data, like if he copy any data from there, or if he wanted to corrupt any server, so it will be problem for an organization. That's the reason the authentication will be a major thing in an organization, whenever you join an organization or anyone joins your organization, you need to be very cautious there. Authorization, like once you have an authentication, like there is an if you got an entry to your office, we'll take this example and we'll continue with this. Okay, so uh, you got an identity, you are, so they'll get to know that you are an authorized person, like your authentication is valid, you can enter the office. Then there will be certain rooms and certain areas where you can't enter, right? So every gate or every access to the information will be having authorization, like it will cross verify whether the person is authenticate, whether the person is validated for this authentication, and as well as whether he is authorized to do or to come inside or to read or to execute certain things, like. And we also we can also take an example like authorization where it will be there. So we'll be having different consoles in cybersecurity. So we'll be having as a junior level person, you will be having an authentication. So you will be having access to that console, which you can access with shared password will be there to you, which will be encrypted and which will be shared to, which will be shared to you using a software. So you can't even see the password which is given to you, but you will access that security console. Then there will be some options to update a resource or to delete a resource or to make changes in that. Suppose we do have a malware alert in the console, so we'll be seeing that, we'll be gathering information from that, but we can't do anything after that, like we can't even click a button, just we'll be having access to read or the cap or to capture data. That where this is where the authorization will be there. So next, accounting or auditing, where here, like it will be having a double A thing where you will be verified with your authentication, and it will also check whether you are authorized. Then account auditing will be there. Auditing in the sense like if you are having a privilege, like you are a manager of your domain, or you do have permissions to update any resource in the cloud, or there is you can give privileges to someone. So even though here we'll be monitoring all those things, we'll be monitoring all those things in the sense like if you did any changes in that, like if you like we'll give an example like we do have an if you are an IT admin, you can add newcomers in the domain control, where you will be giving access to some people, like that person can access these websites, this person can access only this person can only have opened these applications in his laptop or in his website. So here the person who is very authorized person, he'll be he'll be doing changes in that, even though what we will be doing, we'll be monitoring him as well as, and we'll be getting confirmation from him. So let's also see where involving tracking user actions and system events to maintain accountability and create a reward. So at these points, for what we call like if we are sorry, if we are suppose we are cybersecurity analyst, what we will be doing here, we'll be monitoring each and every log of a person, each and every event which is done in what we call in an laptop, or suppose you are accessing a file, file could be like, or a website which is not authorized in your organization. You are accessing Facebook or YouTube or Instagram from your office laptop. So what will happen, the connection will be broken and the logs will be submitted. Also there could be another possibility, like the connection will be given to you, key you can access, but the logs in the backend, the logs will be generated on you that you have been accessing these websites, or these information you are taking this information. So here the accountability will be there. Like, do you, like, are there any doubts from authentication, authorization, or auditing? So okay then, non-repudiation, what that mean, like, it is a thing where it is a policy where you will be having a, what we call, you are you are like you will be having a privilege where you can do certain things, like you can update, you can send a request to any application, and then what will happen, there will be higher authority person who will be accessing those requests, and then he will be deciding whether you are good to access these or not. You will be, basically you will be sending requests to them, and um, they will be qualifying whether you are having these privileges or not. They will be having your check, and everything will be done. Here comes the security controls. So what all security controls in an organization will be taking, like what we'll be implementing, or what the actions we will be taking, and what are the types of steps we will be going. So preventive, here there will be many categories. So these are the couple of categories where preventive, detective, corrective, and deterrent will be there. So what happens, in prevention, in the sense like, before happening something, or like, before happening a attack, what will happen, there will be firewalls, there will be WAFs, and as well as your strong password, encrypted password, 2F MFA, two factor authentication will be there, where before happening something you will be okay. So what happens, in prevention, you will be, before happening something, like, if there is a laptop, someone wants to attack, or your brother or someone is there, what you will be doing, whenever you are having you are having a laptop, you will be protecting it with a password. Okay, laptop is protected with password, so that it will be resembling that it is your laptop, and no one can access that laptop without a password. So here the prevention comes. If we get into real time scenario, they will be, the organization will be bonded with a laptop. You will be working on a laptop, then there will be a switch, then there will be a router, then there will be a firewall. Okay, this is a firewall. Then what you will be having, you will be connecting with internet to a website. It would be some website, you would be connecting to that. And if the website is good, like if the website is having good reputation, you will be going through all this and you will be accessing this. If not, what happens, if the what we call, if the website is malicious website, or it is having an access, like, there could be an hacker sitting over there who would be sending you a request. What happened then, he will pass this, like he'll come through internet only, but at firewall end, what will happen, it will be detected via your security what we call security tools will be there, which will be monitoring each and everything. So here it will be blocked at first only, like, because yeah, there will be certain rules written in firewall, like whether we need to allow this IP, or this IP or this website is allowed or not, whether whether there is inbound or outbound connections are accepted from this or not. So there here this would be concept of prevention. Then detection. Hmm. Detection in the sense, as hmm, as I said, detection, detective in the sense, like there will be some measurements, detective measurements, where we will be identifying an attack or an event. So we'll have an example here. So this is a laptop where a next gen antivirus, which is known as EDR, will be installed, and there will be also EDR agent will be installed, as well as SIM agent will also be installed. What these tools will be doing, they will be monitoring each and every event in the sense, the logs or the actions taken by you will be recorded and stored in cloud. They could be any EDR agent or SIM agent. They will be collecting and sending to the cloud storage, where, because we can't store in our laptop, so that if we store in our laptop, what happens, it will get slowed down and the storage will be exceeded. That is the reason the agent just it will collect and it will monitor the behavior, and it will be storing in cloud. So here, whenever, what if you downloaded any cracked version of, suppose we are downloading MS Office, which is cracked version. Generally, everyone is doing that only. So we are taking this general example. Okay, cracked version of MS Office has been downloaded, which would be in zip file. Okay, then what will happen? Like whenever we extract it from zip file, the folders will be there many. They could be an hidden file, which could be a malware threat, or a ransomware, or a trojan. It could be anything from these things. So what happens, the events will be there in cloud, which, as well as we do have rules in EDR. This is endpoint detection and response. Endpoint in the sense, the laptop detection. See, EDR. Okay, endpoint detection and response. Okay, what happens here? Detective is there. This agent will detect as well as response. There will be two options for us as an security guy, so that we can detect detect this and get an alert, or else detect and response to that. It has been what we call, sorry, the automation is already there, so that where it can also response to that. Response in the sense, it will give you an information. There will be some ticketing tools. It could be a Jira or something. So what happens, you will be getting an alert that so and so thing is there, and this attack or this event has been processed in that. It will be showing that ID of that laptop, because each laptop will be having different ID with name. Key, this file is there in that, and that attack is being processed. And these and this process will be identified with MITRE framework, where you will be having techniques, tactics and all. So we can also have an intrusion detection system. It could be also a great example for this. So we'll also explain this. What is IDS, ITS, IPS also? Intrusion detection and prevention. So these will be monitoring your switch logs. Here is your endpoint. What generally we won't call this as a laptop or something. In security perspective, it is an endpoint. Okay, so this will be your switch 1 or switch 2. So here intrusion detection will be detecting whatever is happening in that switch. Like there will be multiple IPs, sorry, multiple ports in this, where it will be multiple ports will be connected to multiple consoles, or there could be an access point, so that it will be connected to you with wirelessly. Okay. So it will be detecting your logs or the behavior which is an abnormal. So we do have an example of this IDS IPS, which is a dark trace, which is an tool. It is a specified company tool where it is also integrated with AI, where it will be having a threshold value based on your activity. Like if you are accessing a website 10 times a day, okay, like what if you access 11th time, then there will be an alert generated on your name that the person behavior was to access only 10 times a day, but suddenly what happened, he's accessing 11th time. So it will be triggering an alert. Here comes a detection, and as well as log monitoring. In the sense, as I said, the every event, what everything what you do, it will be generating an event as well as a log, which will be stored in logs will be there, like automatically generating in your laptop, but they won't store in your laptop. So there will be tools so that it will be redirected to any cloud storage or in-house server. Okay, got it. IDS. Okay. Hmm. It is the abbreviation would be like intrusion detection system. Okay. What happens, in intrusion detection system? So it will be placed, we'll have an example. This is your laptop. Okay, this could be one more laptop. Got it. Then it will be connected to a switch. Okay, there will be certain ports in a switch it will be connected to, and this port is connected to access point, AC. This is, we'll call it as endpoint. Okay, we'll make sure EP1, EP2. Okay, this is your switch, SW1. Okay, there could be, we'll be taking a general example, like basic level of example, and this is connected to another switch, switch 2. Here would be your server is there, or SR1, or here it would be what we call and another server, SR2. Okay, and one more thing, it will be connected to a router, then it will be connected to a firewall. Okay, then you will be connecting to an internet. Okay, from here you will be accessing, like everything is accessible from internet. So here is a person, what he is doing, he is accessing a website. Okay, from these he's going to a website, he's accessing. Like every day there will be certain rules will be there in intrusion detection system, where it will be monitoring from your switch level only. Okay, it won't monitor your endpoint. Everything will be endpoint in a cybersecurity perspective. Okay, it will be monitoring, it will be installed at your switch. So here there will be ports, like if it is an IP1, IP2. So what happens, the person with IP1 is accessing to this website. He is, or we'll take a general example which is like traditional way, a person is accessing a server. Okay, he's having privilege. So we got, he's having privilege, he is authorized person, also he do have an auditing thing, accountability is also assigned to it. So AAA is configured. Then what happens, the person is accessing a file or a folder, and he is sharing it to this, means he's copying from here and he's pasting here. So if he is doing repetitively, like he's doing every day, he's only copying one file and one folder, one file and one folder, he's copying and pasting, or else he's copying from there, he's pasting here. But suddenly there is a change where he's copying two files, okay, or two folders from this server. There could be confidential information in that, but he do have an access because he is certified with this, where he got an privilege to access this. And but even though there will be an IDS where it will be detecting if he captured more than one file, so then will be an alert trigger that this IP, this person with this IP is accessing this file or sharing this file, because, and it is an abnormal behavior for this person, because his threshold value is one file and one folder. Okay, got it? The
Okay.
threshold value will be set for those files and those IPs only, so that he can access from this. It is basically a behavior thing which is done in an organization from switch to switch. Okay, so there will be a threshold value will be set, as well as there are now the agents are like AI agents have been implanted and attached to the workflow, so it will be detecting your behavior also, where whenever it finds something suspicious, accessing or sharing folder, also copying or deleting the files also, the alert will be triggered to you. Got it? And same thing will be there with IPS. I sorry, IPS. IDS only have privilege to detect, but IPS have the privilege to stop also. Prevention will also be taken by an IPS. Okay, like here it will only, in IDS it will only detect that file, and it will give an, it will throw an alert to your ticketing tool. But in prevention, you will it will also detect and prevent, where it will be detecting and it will block if that is not necessary for him. He is only allowed for these one file or one folder or 10 MB 10 MB file. It will be categorized with the policies, and with the MB, or it could be, there will be many rules written in that. So in prevention it will also block the connection or block the accessibility for him. Okay, here the detection. Okay, corrective, what repairs. So in corrective, what happens, the repair, as we discussed, detection will be there. So when there is some incident like some malware attack to your computer or your endpoint something, so it will detect, prevent. If prevention is not happened, it will detect. Then detection is happened, as well as repair, in the sense if that file is installed in your laptop, what this thing will be what it will do, it will repair the damage. Like it will also have the snapshot of the previous version, or it will remove or delete the file from the host. In correctiveness means it will correct, or it will go to the stage which was good and which was healthy. Okay, it will go to that, or it will restore the system from an attack, in the sense like it will revert back to that previous state or healthy state. So we'll see this one. See, patching, restoring from backups, and incident response plans, this all will be taken care in this step. Okay, deterrent means disclosure, potential attack from attempting breaches. Oh, discourage, sorry. So here a server is there, your web server. It could be web server, which could be in house, or it could be on cloud. So if it is in house, firewall will be there. If it is on cloud, WAF will be there. Okay, what happens, in trend, it will block the connections, means it will deny the ping. Suppose if anyone is doing a ping from any IP for this, it will automatically drop the connection. That is the reason, like DDoS means server down will won't happen. And also, if because the WAF and firewall is there, we'll be getting an alert. Okay, if someone is trying, once, twice, thrice, or infinity, like how many times he is trying to attack, or he is searching some ports, or he is searching for something, or if he is trying something abnormal where the outsider should not do on your website, which is accessible for him also. As well as we do also have geo restrictions, in the sense if the website is only accessible for US people, or if it is only accessible for Indian people, so only Indian can access. Like if US people are accessing that website, then there would be an alert triggered, or a warning, or an alert, or the visibility from the security, sorry, here the security cameras is there. From security tools, it will be going through you, that this is happening and these abnormal things are happening in this scenario. So in implementation, here technical logical implementation with technologies like encryption will be taken care, and smart cards, in the sense you are access cards, and encryptions, in the sense end-to-end encryption, whether which data you are sending from this end to that end, it will be encrypted. Administrative or managerial policies and procedures will be there, and trainings will be there for awareness, so that you won't access any vulnerable site, or any you won't you are not downloading any malicious applications, or any cracked versions in your laptops, for an organization level also, and for individual levels also. Physical tangible means like safeguarding, or keeping backups for your things, as well as having a monitoring availability for your belongings. For an example, lockers in the sense in security domain we can have an antivirus or an EDR tool. Security cameras in the sense like in general we'll be having security cameras which will be monitoring, but in cybersecurity side there will be tools which will be monitoring your laptops so that you won't, if you done also, they can correlate with what have happened in that scenario, because in security we will be having, we should document each and everything based on the alert or um, based on what have happened here. So here the monitoring tools, logging tools, and the storage backups in response to that incident will be taken care. I hope like you got some idea of this. Okay. Hmm. So in cryptographic, as I said, encryption, symmetric encryption, and asymmetric encryption will be done with hashes. Okay. So here in symmetric encryption, what happened? We take this. Okay. In symmetric encryption, there will be a hash. Hash will be there. Hash in the sense like we would be having 256 hash SHA-1. It will be done by an encryption tools. Sorry, algorithms will be there which will encrypt your messages and your request which you do from your laptops to a server. The data will be encrypted in between. Okay. In symmetric, what happens, there will be a key, data will be there, a key will be there, it will go and it will encrypt at a, so we'll take an example. Sender is there, one receiver is there. Okay. So he'll be sending hello or some, suppose H is an message for him. So what he'll be adding K to it, which is an encryption thing in symmetry. Then what happens, it will be receiver will be receiving this H plus K, but they both will be having mutual understanding that K is not the message, it is an encryption thing. So he'll remove this, then he'll watch this. Or else there are two scenarios. The hello or H is encrypted, it could be some with K, and if he'll receive both of this H plus K, but in order to see this message or access this thing, he need to give the key. What is the key? K is the key. Then only he can access that message in symmetric encryption. But in asymmetric encryption, what happens? It will be, there will be two different keys. K1 will be there, same process will be done, but there will be two keys where encryption and decryption will be done. Here AES and DS algorithms used for symmetric encryption, and in asymmetric RSA algorithm and ECC. Okay, same thing will be there, but here the key will be same for sender and receiver. Here the key will be different for sender and receiver. Hashing in the sense uh, every file will have an hash for that. Okay. It could be hash value will be there. It will be SHA-1, SHA-256, MD5 and SHA-1. In security domain, what will happen, if we'll take an example of malware only, a file MS Office only. The MS Office SHA would be 16 digits, and it would be 2A H B C D something would be there. This is an original or genuine hash where tools are being trained. Like if there is an hash, because tools won't understand all these things, they will only understand numbers, zeros, ones, numbers only. So the tool, security tool, will be noted that this is an original hash for this MS Office. If there is an MS Office with different hash, if it is 2A, right, it is 1AFG something will be there. If there is any, if with this name, if there is any hash which could be a malware, okay, what happens, security tool will trigger an alert. Basically, these all things will help us to identify and to do analysis and to encrypt and to keep secure our environments and our organizations in security domain. Tools and everything will be returned, and we won't use these algorithms. Tools are already capable of doing and using these algorithms and encrypting and decrypting thing. And one more thing, like a hacker can crack this easily, but he can't crack asymmetric thing, because there are two different keys. Two keys are there, primary secondary key for sender and receiver, but here you will be having a primary key only, which will be accessible for both. So to encrypt or to keep the message private, and so that your website or your encryption or your messages are accessible and read for only the person where he is having or he is authorized, or where he is only accountable for all those information. So there we'll use. And hashing is a mechanism where we will be encrypting and storing our passwords, our files, and each and everything where it won't be tampered, in the sense, like as we explained here, if there is any change or if there is any tampered in the file, the hash will automatically change, because a plus b should be a plus b only. If a plus c comes, then it will be a plus c. So there is a difference between hashing algorithm will be that only, but the file in that has been manipulated, then the hash will also, the algorithm when it runs, and it will give different output which is not this one. So it is only helpful for us to identify and to keep our what we call our information secure. Okay, can I move to next, or are there any doubts in this? It will be helpful for your investigations only. So as we previously discussed, zero trust architecture, where never trust, where there is a good code where never trust, always verify. Hmm. So zero trust is a security model that will challenge a traditional network parameter, in the sense whatever the traditional thing which was used previously in organizations, where we used to have in-house server, in-house everything, like in-house storage was there. Anyone can go and access anything without any information, where they were not using any security or monitoring tools. So it was there were many blunders happening over there. There were many data leaks happening over there. There were many unauthorized things were happening there. So the principle here, it came like zero trust. So what happens, you won't trust anyone in the organization in accessing information, accessing, changing, up, update, or updating any information. There won't be anything. So if anyone is accessing anything or updating anything or changing, or you can also add deleting, basically these things will happen while doing any project or any activity. So here, for each step there will be verifications, key, whether he is capable or he is allowed to access, like he is allowed to access, whether he is allowed to change, or whether he is allowed to, each and everything will be noted down. And noted down in the sense it will be logged, and it will be discussed throughout an organization, like who are the authorities, and they will discuss each and everything, whether the thing what like the access or the update what it did were expected or not. So traditional users and the devices once inside the network parameter creating. Okay, what was happening in previous time, like whenever a person got an access code or any identity of that organization, he used to go inside, he used to sit wherever, he used to do whatever he want, he used to access each and everything. But nowadays what happened, whether you are an organize whether you are the person who is working in that company also, you won't allowed to access each and everything from company. Like there would be many crucial information, or there would be um, many what we call sensitive informations of companies. There would be documentation, there would be policies, which a normal employee is not needed to see, watch, or update anything in that. So the principle came, which will help, and there are the zero trust architecture is also there, where it will help, like what are the principles, like verify explicitly, use least privileges, assume breach, and micro segmentation, like each thing will be divided and segregated, and there will be rule written for that. Verify explicitly means all access attempts are continuously authenticated. As I said, like each activity will be authenticated by a person or a tool, which will be running throughout an organization, whether the privileges are there or not, whether is capable of doing anything or not. Everything will be verified. Use least privileges in the sense, if you are given an access to any website or anything, there will be only least privileges based on your role. There will be privileges, like if you got an access to read that, like to capture an information from that website, or from that file, or from that document, or from that tool, you will be only having access to read. You won't be having access to update or do many changes in that. If you got an access also, but you need to verify there. Assume breach, like if organize every time an organization, what organization will do, it will harden its parameters so that it can protect itself from any outside breach or insider breach also. Because insider threat will also there in organization, where there is a good, there is a bad, right? In every organization there will be good people as well as bad people, where they would try to disrupt the what we call reputations of the organization. So this ZTNA was introduced. Zero Trust Network Architecture was introduced, where Zero Trust architecture is there and network architecture is also there. Microsegmentations. Microsegmentations in the sense networks are divided into small. Means like every there will be separate, as I said, now we do have an access point where you are given separate SSID and password to log into that Wi-Fi and to access it. The employee one will have different, employee two will have different, user will have, user guest user one will have different, everyone will have different. That is the reason each and everything will be each and everything can easily monitored, and which will also prevent limiting lateral movement in the sense like there are multiple laptops. Obviously they will in an organization it will be connect to a same network, but there could be different access points or different floor it would be, but as it is there is a possibility that a malware or anything or a person can try to access this, because every secure no product is enough secure key that it can give you 100% security. Every time there would be a 90%, 99% of 1% could also be there. That 1%, what people will do, they will try to leverage, or they will try to exploit, or they will try to make changes, or they will try to go through, use that 1% and find a way so that they can access anything. They could find a breach, or they could find a script error, or there could be a number error, anything could be there, which, and here lateral movement in the sense going from this laptop to this a malware, what happens, Trojan, it will do a lateral movement first. Sorry, a malware or Trojan, it will sit in your laptop, then slowly it will discover networks. From network it will get to know, okay, this network, that thing. So slowly it will go to this, that this is meant by lateral movement. So in order to prevent those also, we will use ZTNA. So from this session the key takeaways are like ZTNA, which is like most prominently used now. Okay, which is where we do have an architecture where and a saying that never trust, always verify. Okay, and in right now we are also, everyone is adapting this architecture, they are moving from traditional architecture and all. And cryptography basics, we had symmetric, asymmetric, and hashing and all. Security controls, preventive, detective, corrective, as well as and intrusion detection, IPS, IDS, and all. CIA, where it starts from this like confidentiality, integrity, and availability. And and also what you should do, you need to learn and you need to go in depth, or you, because we are starting from beginning, right? Everything you need to search. As we are cybersecurity people, the every time what happens, every day is a learning, like every day we need to learn something new. There could be some breaches going out there, something new was new could become, or new update or new patches will be there. Each day is learning for a cybersecurity person. Like some things I would not know right now, because they would come today or tomorrow. Every day we, what the cyber security people, they learn. Every day is a learning perspective and learning day for, so that we can be good in the company as well as in organizations, and we can protect and we can be updated to all these things. Okay.